Good morning. Good morning. This morning, we're going to be talking about this concept that you see below me, enjoy the journey. I hear this all the time in personal development, but what does it actually mean? We're going to dive into the phrase and then go over some tips, tricks, and ideas to actually try and implement the sucker. Enjoy the show. Financially free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer. This action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch. So a little one-person trampoline, very I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Taryn Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. We're starting the morning off right with a personal development topic, as always. And this one's going to be a fun one. We get to think about this idea of enjoying the journey. I feel like I can hear my coach, mentors, my mom, my friends, just a lot of people who want to see me do well in my life continue to talk about this concept of enjoying the journey. Enjoy the journey. I can see it in the text of so many books that I've had the privilege of reading over the years. But what does this actually mean? How can we actually implement it in our day-to-day life? And what's the problem, or what are people doing to avoid this line of thinking? So enjoy the journey. I believe the real issue that most people are suffering from, good morning. Thanks for tuning in the show this morning. So when it comes to not enjoying the journey, I think it comes from being too focused on the outcome. I believe we live in a society where everyone is dumping their mental, emotional resources into the idea that the finish line is where I need to be. The finish line is what's going to give me what I need. If I just can get that amount of money, if I can just get that 10 grand in my bank account, if I can just get that $100,000 in my bank account, if I can just retire, when I'm retired, I'll finally be able to live. Oh, praise the Lord. I'll finally be able to live. And I believe it takes away from the process that what is actually happening. If we look in real time, I think you've heard from philosophers before in the past that there actually is not a future. It never really exists. Tomorrow is just today, and yesterday is gone, and there's no way to go back to it. If we look on a very literal level, all we actually have is the journey. And they talk about that. So what they're really saying, if we come back to just our little quote in the beginning, episode 339 this morning, enjoy the journey. Could we be saying we're just trying to enjoy life? Because if it's always the journey, then, and us just being alive is life, then could we say just enjoying life? So enjoying the journey and the gap between us, and this is where I think human suffering can really greatly be diminished. That's our mission here, is to reduce human suffering, to build skills, to be able to achieve the life that we truly want. And if we have a gap of, say I'm right here, let's go ahead and get to the whiteboard this morning. Maybe if I draw a little example, it will be helpful. Sorry, I'm trying to turn my camera this morning. It's being a little stinker. This is episode 339. By gosh, rolling through them. So say we've used this example before. We have a little timeline, and we see that you are here. You, me, us, goal. And I believe we have so much of the time, it's so easy for us. The goal is where the joy's at. To be able to view and think, oh, if we get to the goal, then we're going to be able to have joy. We're going to be able to have happiness. We're going to be able to have health. We're going to be able to do that. But really, the mark never really moves, and we are right here. And that is the only place we will ever be until the day we die. So we are always in the process. And if we believe that joy only exists at the end goal, then do we ever really get to have joy? That is the true question. So you look at successful entrepreneurs and you see a real issue in today's society of they go and they accomplish the goal, and then what? It feels good for what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a day, 2 days? I remember in college, I was studying so much about investments and real estate. I was so excited to just get my first property. If I can just have a rental, then I will be putting money towards my future. I'll be able to get closer to financial freedom if I can just get that one. And then I got it, and I was like, oh, yeah, now I'm just having a few more phone calls, and I don't feel that much better. I was like, well, maybe if I just get two, if I just get two of them, then I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to have joy. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to be closer to financial freedom, and then it'll be good. And then we got another one, and for about an hour, I felt really good. And then I got a phone call, and then I had to get back to work. I was like, oh, well, shit. And then I was like, oh, I have this idea for an education company. I'm going to really help people. If I can just get the outline, if I can just get this done, then I'll feel really good. If I can just get this done, then I'm going to feel amazing. And just keep chasing and chasing and chasing. It's like that whole carrot on a stick. They got the plunger glued to your forehead, and you just can't reach it. And you're like, once I catch that, I'm going to feel really, really good. This is what I believe is really dangerous. So maybe this morning, we're just giving awareness to this. We're just recognizing it when it comes up. I was just writing this out on my whiteboard. I like to write nice messages for myself, as cheesy as it sounds. And I was talking about how I want to be patient with the process this week, how I want to let go, and I want to be kind to myself. I want to be really kind to myself as I enjoy the process of things. And that's really what inspired me to do this episode this morning about enjoying the journey and what the hell that actually means. So I believe the issue is that we're too focused on the outcome. And next, I want to challenge the line of thinking along this. So, okay, it's going to happen. Nobody runs a marathon in 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Nobody's going to be completely zen for the rest of their lives. I know I'm not. I have a good feeling you're not going to be. So how do we really address this? I believe just asking the question while stating, be patient, and ask you, why are you in a rush? Why are you in a rush? Do you want to get older faster? Do you want your life to just keep moving on? Is the moment that you're in that unbearable? Is what you're doing something that you don't enjoy? Genuinely answer that question. Why are you in a rush? And I believe if we can answer this question of why are you in a rush? I come back to the answer of, I think it's just because I believe I'm supposed to. Like I just adopted this social norm of hustle, grind, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. I don't personally actually want to be in a rush. Think about your mornings. Think about your mornings for just a second. When you are in a rush in the morning, do you feel good or do you feel stressed? When you are in a rush to work, when you're in a rush to go pick up your kid, when you're in a rush to get something done, when you're in a rush to do this, how do you feel? Good? Do you feel like you just meditated and you got a nice coat of satisfaction throughout your body? Probably not. Asking this question of why we are in a rush helps raise the awareness of the problem in itself. You're not in a rush. We don't need to be in a rush. If you don't want to feel like you're in a rush, I think addressing that and talking about it with yourself, maybe you write in a journal, maybe you reach out and you talk to Tanner, get some coaching. Maybe we just wake up 15 minutes earlier. How do you want to spend your time? In a rush? Do you want to rush to the end of your life? I know I don't. And I believe that's why being patient, be patient, is something that we should remind ourselves this morning. As it's Monday morning and we're rocking and rolling, good morning to you all. We're being patient today, applying patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience can help me be a better me. And we need these reminders, right? We're not going to do it all the time. We're not going to always be patient. But if just one or two times a day you catch it, you catch yourself, that story's bullshit. That's not true. I'm not in a rush. I'm right here, right now. I can be a little more patient. Because I answered the question this morning, why am I in a rush? And I said, I'm not in a rush. And I feel really good. So maybe that's what we do. We're just not in a rush. We're not so focused on the outcome. And to kind of wrap up this episode, or to get to the last third of it, there's this Zen proverb: when walking, walk. When eating, eat. When working, work. When washing the dishes, wash the dishes. When running, run. When writing, write. Be there for what it is that you're doing. Be there for what it is that is in front of you. And see as our attention, our quality of attention, which is the argument of the basis of my course that I've created, is that's all that we actually have is the quality of our attention. And understanding where this is going. Because if you can understand where your attention is at, and you can raise awareness and understand what it is that you want, and you can align the two, aligning your attention with what it is that you want, I believe it can be so much easier to do what we've set out. We've been hearing 1,000 times over and over and over and over. Enjoy the journey, T-Dog. Enjoy the journey, and you'll live a better life. And I can do this by aligning the quality of my attention with what it is I really want. By lining these two up, I believe my life becomes full. I believe I become satisfied. I believe it becomes possible to become patient. Being patient when you're doing something you hate and you got your attention far into this goal, off into the horizon, where there's just a giant gap between who you are, what you want, what you're doing, how you feel. Of course, it's impossible to be patient. Of course, it's impossible. Have you ever heard setting yourself up for success? This is something I'm trying to remind myself of. How can I set myself up for success? Understanding what it is that I want, understanding what it is that I am doing, my attention, lining them up, that gives me the ability to be successful. But when I don't know what I want, when I'm all over the place, when I change my mind, when I'm thinking about the future, when I'm worried about this, when I'm thinking about that, it becomes impossible. And then we'll sit down and we'll think, what is wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? When our minds get agitated, I love that analogy of it's Eastern philosophy, right? When water gets agitated and shaken up, you cannot see through it. You can't see shit. It's not clear. But if we can be patient, we can relax, we can pause, we can stop just for a moment to let the water settle. We can see. We can see what it is that we want. We can see what it is that we want to do. We can see what is truly possible. We can see that we already have what it is that we want. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, that's the mission. That's the idea for this morning, is to enjoy the journey. And we talked about the major problem of why people cannot enjoy the present moment, why people can't enjoy the journey, is because we're too focused on the damn goal all the time and not looking at what is the reality of our life. And that's the actions that we're taking to get to it. If you want, the way you know that you want to be a writer is that you enjoy writing. The way that you know, you're like, Tanner, how the hell do I actually know what I want? How the hell do I be patient? How the hell do I not be in a rush all the time? Is when you can naturally do these things. You try a bunch of different tasks because you're going to have to try a bunch of different stuff. Turns out we're going to have to try new stuff. Dang it, the secret's out. We're going to have to try new things. We're going to have to do new things. And if you can walk when you are walking, then that's probably a good form of exercise for you. When you can eat when you're eating, when you can enjoy cooking while you cook, then that's probably a good habit or a hobby for you. When we can be in and we can enjoy the process of something that we're doing, I believe it truly sets us up for success. It sets us up to enjoy the reality of what it is that we're doing. Talk about writing and books. It's kind of wild how a lot of writers that I've met, they talk how this just painful writing process. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. They're like, but finishing the book feels really good. And they won't even be around to enjoy it when it's done. I won't be there. You'll know in your head that it's been written and it's a cool project and you've accomplished something, and that's great. But look at how much time, our only resource, was dedicated to the process versus how much time was dedicated to the outcome. I just don't want to miss out that much on my life. And to choose to not miss out, I believe, is to enjoy the journey, to settle my mind, to look through clear water and understand what it is that I want, and lining that up with having high quality attention for my work, for my contribution, for my exercise. And I can line these things up. I believe I truly set myself up for success, which success is enjoying the journey. What's more successful than that? Come on now. What's more successful than enjoying the journey? I haven't figured out anything better, because it seems to be that's the only thing that's really in my reality. To take it to that extent, to pull the layers of the onion back, to read what these philosophers have said for thousands of years, that all you have is right now, and that you might as well enjoy it. Because you got two options. You enjoy it or you don't. Hopefully this one will help this morning. We talk about stop focusing so much on the outcome. Let's be a little more patient. Ask, why am I in a rush right now? What's the rush? And then whenever we're doing a task, try to fully embrace the task. When you're walking, be embraced in walking. Feel the muscles in your legs. Look around, see the trees around you. Feel the breeze on your neck. Whatever it is, be immersed within it. And then maybe when you're eating, really mindful eating, slowing our eating down. How does the food taste? What is the texture? Are we chewing enough to get the most out of it? Just some simple, easy stuff to have a higher quality of life. Well, cheers to that, my friends. This is my game plan for enjoying the journey and what the hell it actually means to me. Hopefully, it can be helpful to you. Episode 339 this morning. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this Monday morning. Let's rock it. Let's get it rolling. I know you've been waiting on that one project, and let's take one little step forward on it together. Come on. Do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for your family. We got this. It'll be fun. And enjoy the process while you're doing it, right? Enjoy the journey. So thanks, friends. That's all I have for today. My name is Tanner DeWitt, and I have 3 offers that I offer to people. If you know someone who would be interested, I have this morning show. We're trying to get more people to tune into this morning show. 2, I have a self-directed course that you can take. It's 6 weeks long. It's money, baby. It's the best course on personal development you've ever seen. If you want to take yourself to the next level, truly, because that's why I offer a money back guarantee, because it's so good. And you have exercise you take for life. You get to work with my personal team, my coach. You get to work with my coach directly. You get to work with graphic designers, nutritionists, movement specialists. It's the ultimate package to make you a better person. And additionally, lastly, I have private competitive advantage coaching. This is really intensive coaching for business owners who want to push to the absolute limit. I love to push myself in 6-week spurts. So that's why I do those challenges. Just say I survived them. So if you know any business owners who would be interested in that intensive work, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks, friends. That's all I got today. Appreciate you listening to the pitch. And essentially, this was enjoying the journey, what it actually means, episode 339. I'll be live again Tuesday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So tell your friends about the show, share with somebody, share the content, and hopefully we can get more people to watch it live the following morning. Catch you guys later. See you on the next one. Peace.